What's happening, Eyes on Texas Nation? Good morning to you. Just a couple of quick notes before we get in the topic of today's video. For us gym goers, those of us who do like to frink with the GYM and make ourselves big and strong, wear your damn shoes. I don't want to see anybody in flip-flops or slides or anything like that showing up at the gym. If you're one of those guys that puts 3-4 plates on each side and likes to take your shoes off while you squat, more power to you. I'm not talking about you. Secondly, get a spot. A couple of times this morning already, I saw two fellas put 2 plates on their chest. Get a spot. Don't be afraid of the COVID. Get a spot. More likely to have a heart attack dropping 2 plates on your chest than to get the COVID. Anyways, let's go back into this video. I'm your boy AK. This is the Eyes on Texas channel. I make college football sports videos every single day, so welcome to the program. For today's topic, we're going to talk about players opting out for the 2020 season and the non-con Big 12 championship. Will that hurt our chances of getting into the college playoffs? Let's go ahead and get that going with the Big 12 champ. Will the Big 12 champ get in this new playoff system, this new 1 game plus 9 conference games that the Big 12 is going to have to get? So really, we all know the Big 10 champ is going to get in. Was probably either going to be Penn State or Ohio State. Now it's definitely looking like Ohio State after what I have to say about Micah Parsons. Their champion is definitely going to get in. The SEC champ, well, they're the #1 conference in all of college football. They're definitely going to get in. And the team who probably is going to win the ACC every single year, we all know they're going to get in. I'm, of course, talking about the Clemson Tigers. I do know that the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame are in that conference this year. So really, it's going to be Notre Dame or Clemson coming out of the ACC, but probably Clemson. So that means it's going to be a battle between 2 conferences for that last spot. And of course, the last 2 big major Power 5 conferences are going to be Pac-12 and of course ours, the Big 12. So all we have to do is think about it like this. With this new system of everyone just playing their conference, they're only going to get 1 champion. Only 1 team is going to get in per conference. That's only happened once. That was in 2018 when the SEC got in. 2017, I believe, whenever the SEC got in 2 champions into the Big 4. That is not going to happen this year. So all we have to do as a Big 12 conference champion winner is look better than the Pac-12 conference winner, which we all know is going to be the Oregon Ducks. So really what we have to do is focus in on is beating the Big 12 and looking better than the Oregon Ducks. So if we go 9-1, we better hope they go 8-2. Otherwise, it's going to be a coin flip. It's going to be a straight-up coin flip between the Big 12 winner, conference winner, champion winner, and the Pac-12 conference winner, champion winner, which is going to be the Oregon Ducks, in my personal opinion. It's really embarrassing whenever you don't get your conference champion in. I do know that hearing from the college football overlords and the people that do concern college football, if Oklahoma is our champion, they're really tired of seeing Oklahoma getting one and done. And really, as college football fans, as Texas football fans, what do we have to say about it? Because they're the ones that beat our ass every single year for their 5th consecutive Big 12 championship. So there's nothing really we can say about it. So we need to get in there so we can prove that the Big 12 deserves to be in these last final 4 games and actually get a W. Oklahoma's been to these games, but they've yet to win one. So that is something that is very concerning towards me that we need to get forward and moving on to. And speaking to moving on forward to, I really want to get our conference champion in. I very want it to be Texas. This is going to be a big time up and coming season. Lots of new changes, lots of stuff going on. And I think we have the opportunity to sneak in, but we'll talk about that later on the next video. Which brings me to our second topic of conversation, and that's going to be players opting out completely of the 2020 season and just go in preparation for the NFL, or are just skipping it 100% due to COVID-related issues and feel unsafe this season playing football. Of course, first let's talk about cornerback on July 29th, Caleb Farley, a cornerback from Virginia Tech. He was the first player of note to opt out. He was a third-team All-American, and he's going to be picked to be one of the first few cornerbacks taken into this year's NFL draft. Yesterday was the big-time news, though. This is the one that moved the needle, and this is the one that made me want to talk about this topic, and that's going to be the aforementioned Micah Parsons, who's going to be a big-time linebacker prospect for Penn State. My personal opinion is Micah is the top defender in all of the nation. Probably was going to be, or is going to be, a top 10, if not a top 5 draft pick in this year's draft. Linebacker, Penn State. The main reason why I'm not going to pick Penn State to win the Big Ten, it's just that simple. They can go 9-1, still win the Big Ten. But without him, they're a 7-3 team. Penn State is a 7-3 team without Micah Parsons. You can put that in the bank. Micah Parsons, talking about him, he is a first-team All-America. 2019, he recorded 109 tackles and 5 sacks. Absolutely explosive, disruptive player. Absolutely going to miss him. Was really looking forward to watching him play in this season for this year in the Big Ten. Not a big fan of the Big Ten, but I do like watching explosive players. Let's talk about a couple other players. These guys are just really doing it for health reasons, not top NFL prospects at this point in their careers. I'm talking about Rashad Bateman. He's going to be a wide receiver for Minnesota. Talking about Ravon Bonner. He's a running back from Illinois. We have a running back from University of Alabama, Birmingham, Daquan Godfrey, sitting out due to COVID reasons. And this is the only quarterback that made this list, and that's going to be quarterback Kevin Doyle from Arizona. And we have a couple of, speaking of the Pac-12, couple of players from the Washington State squad. We have wide receiver Cassidy Woods, and we have defensive back Pat Nunn. Both not playing due to COVID issues. And out of the SEC, the one SEC player that I found that's sitting out due to COVID issues is going to be the Vanderbilt kicker, Mr. Oren Milstein is opting out due to the 2020 season. I really can't blame a lot of these players for doing it. If I was one of these top NFL prospects, I had nothing to lose but going down in the draft and injury. If I was Micah Parsons, I'd pick it up, pack it up, move it on. I could understand that. But what if you're someone who hasn't said you're going to opt out yet? What if you're a top dog like Trevor Lawrence, who was basically crowned Prince of Egypt since his freshman year? He stepped on and Clemson University absolutely tore it up, and people were already predicting him to go #1 overall after his junior season. Why not opt out for him? What's he got to play for? Oh, shucks. The college season's canceled. Seriously, how upset do you think he actually would be? Another one, Josh Fields, probably the #2 overall player going to take in this draft. Really, it's going to come up to Trevor Lawrence and Josh Fields. Pick them. Which one do you want? Talking about another prospect, Dylan Moses, linebacker, Alabama. Why not just sit it out? Might want to think about it. What are your thoughts? What are your prayers? What do you think about these kids? Some deciding for health reasons, some deciding for money reasons, want to pick it up and pack it up and go to the NFL. What would you do? Personally, I don't blame these young men. These are their young men, and these are their bodies. It's their lives. You only live once, so you can do whatever it is, you want to do. A lot of these young men, they do pack it up with their family before they make the decision. I think I would probably, if I was a major, big-time player and I was expected to go to the NFL, I would opt out. If I was a regular man concerned about my health, I would think of myself that us young people think about it. Frankly, we think we're going to live forever anyways. Everybody under the age of 30 really thinks they're going to live forever anyways. So if I was a non-draft eligible player, I would play. That's my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Keep your head on a swivel and your eyes on Texas. Subscribe to the channel. I'm out.